Here are three things that will decide Game 7 tonight. So Game 7 of the NBA Finals is tonight in Oklahoma City in a win or go home situation for both teams. Part of the reason why this series has been so entertaining is because of the Pacers. The Pacers weren't even expected to push this series past 5 games, and now they're in a Game 7 where they have a legit chance of winning. And OKC has responded to everything Indiana has thrown at them. Despite being one of the youngest teams and most inexperienced teams in the league, they are in a real legit position to win the NBA championship. But ultimately, it's going to come down to these three things. First thing is the bench. Whoever bench plays better, that's the team that's going to win. That's been the trend really the entire series, and it's going to be no different in Game 7. OKC is at home, and typically when they're at home, their bench plays much better. But Indiana's bench has been very well on the road this season, and with it being a Game 7, anything is possible. And any one of these players, because Indiana has so many options of players who can take over, any one of these players could take the spotlight tonight and bring Indiana a championship. Second thing is whichever team can take care of the ball the best. Throughout this entire series, with the exception of Game 1, the team that has the least amount of turnovers has won the game. I mean, it's quite simple. If you can keep the ball on your side of the floor and not give it to the other team for the chance at a fast break or a free opportunity, then you're going to win the game. And throughout the series, neither team has shown like a huge advantage in keeping the ball on their side of the court, but typically, whichever team takes care of the ball the best will win, and it's the same thing tonight. If Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has another game where he has 8 turnovers and the Thunder just cannot keep the ball on their side of the floor, then they will be walking home tonight, not as champions. The final thing is which team can make the best decisions down the stretch. Now, I'm anticipating this game to be pretty close. They've had a multitude of close games in the series, and in the biggest game of the series, I don't think it's going to be any different. And whichever team is able to execute their game plan or whatever it is down the stretch, whether that be taking care of the ball, getting proper looks, not being a dumbass on the court, will end up winning this game. We've seen throughout the series and really the entire playoffs what happens when these teams aren't able to execute down the stretch. We saw what happened in Game 1 when OKC wasn't able to execute down the stretch. You get the Tyrese Halliburton game winner. You see what happens in Game 4 when Indiana abandons their whole offensive philosophy and just runs a 2-man game for the final couple of minutes in the game. And you see that's how OKC wins Game 4 despite losing for a good amount of it. So it's pretty simple. Whichever team can lock in and be smart down the stretch will end up winning this game. Now we're going to see how this ends up playing out. Which bench plays better, which team wins the turnover battle, and which team executes better down the stretch. Whichever team is able to do 2 of these 3 things, or even all 3 of them, who knows, will end up winning.